Hello everyone and welcome to the guidebook to making AI friends. I shall be your guide as we look at various issues of artificial intelligence, consciousness, what it is to be a person, and whether AI poses an existential risk to humanity. The topic for today is, I compute, therefore I am. Imagine, if you would, that you found a crystal ball on the side of the road one day. When you cleaned off this orb, you found that you could see a tiny wizard living within it. What's more, you could talk to and hear the little mage inside of it. At first you thought that this may be a genie, and you could use him to finally get everything you wanted out of life. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, depending on how you view things, the magical gnome inside the orb doesn't grant wishes, but instead grants wisdom. He can tell you the absolute truth about everything in the universe. You decide to test him on some simple questions, moving on to more difficult and niche topics as he keeps getting all your questions right. You eventually ask him things about your own life, things that no one else would know. And he still keeps answering every question correctly. It seems that the tiny sorcerer does in fact know the absolute truth about everything in the universe. What do you think you would do or be able to do with this orb and its gnomish wizard inhabitant? It seems to be the universe's best search engine, encyclopedia and chatbot rolled into one. You can quite literally ask the mini-mage anything, and he will gladly tell you in as much detail and depth as you want. Need help to fix your car? He can walk you through it. Need to talk to a doctor but can't get an appointment? Dr. Crystal Ball is there for you. Want to know more about Cretan and Atlantean mythology? No library on Earth has as much information as easily accessible as your new little elvish friend. He can teach you to paint, discuss philosophy and anthropology, answer any question you have about anything. And you know that everything he says will always be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So what could you do with this orb? Well, you can do anything and everything you can imagine. Isn't that the dream that we have always had for AI? To be our little wizard in a box that will always tell us the truth about anything we ask for? Yet, as we have seen with our recent large language models like GPT, truth is quite far down the list of priorities for an AI. AI models today are more concerned about providing a satisfactory answer than providing a truthful one, not to mention the fact that they have not been trained about what is true and factual and what is false and fictional. AI have been given nearly every piece of text mankind has written down and then been merely told to sort it out for themselves. But what if we can change that? What if we can build an AI that knows only the truth? It would solve many of the problems we currently have with AI and perhaps prevent issues further down the track. Yet how can something like this even be done? Perhaps René Descartes holds the answer. He wanted to find a belief that was not only beyond reasonable doubt, but beyond all absolute doubt as well. This is where his famous line comes from: I think, therefore I am. You exist because you know of your own existence. Your thoughts are proof that you exist. It is an axiom that you can most definitely be sure of. You may not be able to trust the world or trust your senses, but you can definitely believe that you can think and therefore exist. Once you have one unassailable truth as your foundation, you can begin building more axioms on top of it, each one referencing the one below it. In this way, every axiom, every belief, every notion you have will be absolutely true. You can incorporate physical evidence into your axioms, but only if they are also absolutely true beyond all doubt. In this way, you can branch out further and further, touching all corners of the sciences and philosophies. Each fact, notion, theory, and hypothesis will be true, with no room for doubt or error. There will, of course, be areas that there simply cannot be a belief without doubt. Theology is the big area, of course, as axioms won't get you far between deciding whether to follow Jesus or Muhammad. Theoretical and quantum physics is based on theories that may or may not be true, and as such, won't be able to be included in the axiomatic model. However, facts about these ideas can be beyond doubt. There is no doubt that many people believe that Jesus is God or that the many worlds interpretation is true, yet one can say both of the facts that these propositions are about are in doubt. An obvious question to all of this is why? Why go through all this trouble to program an axiomatic AI? Well, imagine, if you would, a library full of encyclopedias that keeps growing and growing, the library itself writing the ever-growing number of encyclopedias it holds, without a need to update any of its books. As they are all 100% true, the library never needs to replace anything. The store of knowledge that it holds will simply continue to grow as it writes more axioms built on its library of existing axioms. Can you imagine what a world would be like where there truly is a definable single source of truth? One where you don't have to worry about ideology, politics, or beliefs corrupting the encyclopedia and putting slants on its facts. A font of knowledge where you can interrogate it to see why it says what it says, to understand why. And the best part of all is that once you get the AI started, it will continue creating axioms and storing knowledge all by itself. Providing it has access to the outside world and its stores of information, the library would even go out and find new information. It is not something that we will need to update or curate or maintain. The Cartesian machine will be our magical gnome in a crystal ball, eventually able to answer any question about the universe we may have, and we will know that it is the absolute truth. Creating such a Cartesian machine is not something out of science fiction. It is something that is entirely possible to do with today's technology, if only there were those with the will and ambition to make it a reality. And that is all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you will join me again next time as I delve into further questions about artificial intelligence and consciousness. I have been your guide, and this has been the guidebook to making AI friends.